if we are speaking doubt into our life, then guess what? We're gonna see death. If anybody else is speaking doubt into our life or speaking death, then that's what we're gonna eat that fruit.
It's gonna manifest. Have you ever wondered how what seems like a weakness can actually be your greatest strength? Your weakness becoming your greatest strength.
Your superpower. It's very important that we begin to recognize the source of the self-doubt. You know, you could be your biggest critic, but recognize that source of that self-doubt and where it came from, where it stems from. Yeah.
And I'd say, oh, I'm trying. No, you're not trying, girl. You effing know your thing, you know? Let's chill. Hello, hola, bonjour, Sunny Bonani.
Namaste. What up, Chapter Chillers? Yes, it's your boy, Coach LJ, and I'm with my best friend, my business partner, my awesomeness, the one and only Lady Cedar. She is in the building. Yes, you know we're about that vibe each and every week. So I'd like to ask you, are you ready for an informative and empowering episode of Chilling with the Chaplins? You know, where we are elevating lives, empowering businesses, uniting culture, and fueling success. And so, yes, what's popping on today's episode?
So we are still in the month of May. And besides the fact that it's a special month for mothers, happy belated Mother's Day.
Yes.
It is also a very important month of mental health. So as we continue to navigate through this month of May, we also want to pay tribute to those who are going through the journey or are supporting people who have challenges with mental health. It's a big deal. Mental health is a big deal. So as per normal, my question, have you ever wondered how what seems like a weakness can actually be your greatest strength? Your weakness becoming your greatest strength.
Your superpower.
Either in business or in life.
Relationships.
In marriage, in whatever. School, career. So today we're going to actually dive deep into the journey turning self-doubt, which is usually a common struggle, into a powerful ally. All right, so we're going to look at that, like how can we turn self-doubt, because self-doubt plays a role in so many things, and that's how so many dreams die, because you doubt yourself more than other people look at you and doubt you, right? So we just join us as we discuss this, and we're gonna be, I think for us it's a very personal topic. So we're gonna, tell you about our experiences as well, and you can also just reflect on your personal experiences of how self-doubt has held you back in achieving your goals, in becoming the person God has meant for you to be, or you are meant to be by the universe, or whatever you look at it. And so today we're gonna go through that and self-discover how we can just navigate this journey of self-doubt. So strap in your seatbelts as we navigate ways on self-discovery and how because we're doing it together, transform our doubts into defining strengths. So join in, and you're allowed to go into the comment section and tell us how self-doubt has held you back in becoming the person that you were meant to be, and how you're navigating that, especially in this mental health month. Before we continue, our stats tells us that 85% of you guys who are watching our videos have not subscribed. So we urge you to please support us, help us grow this channel by just subscribing and sharing and commenting and liking. Like, help us to grow, because we cannot do it without you.
Yes.
It's a plea that we hope that you guys will heed to. So if you love us and if you'd like us to see us grow, please just subscribe, share, like, and comment. And also share with us what you'd like to hear us talk about. Because like we always say, this is your platform too, as much as we've made it ours. On that note, would like to get started and say, strap on in, let's talk self-doubt. So the big question is, after that beautiful intro, is what is the root of self-doubt? What causes people to doubt themselves? I remember I attended a class on healing the childhood,
The inner child.
the inner child, childhood traumas that we grab along the way. And I won't say to my surprise, but to an enlightening of the discussion that we had among the attendants, I would say 99% of the people self-doubt, who doubt themselves in their adult age, it roots back down from when they were kids.
Yes.
And then you carry that into your adulthood.
Adolescence into adulthood.
Right? And I think it gets heightened during adolescence. And then you carry it, if it wasn't worked
into marriage.
Into adulthood, into marriage, into relationships, into business, into careers, into life. And it becomes something that started really small and could have been solved, becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until it's unmanageable. So I think today's topic is to kind of look into the self-doubt. What is the root? Yes, childhood traumas, and a messed up inner child, because majority of us have a messed up inner child, which we have not worked on. Let's talk about that. What's your thoughts on self-doubt?
Yeah, because I think in order for us to grow and be able to go to the next level in our career, in business, in our relationships, we gotta handle and deal with the root cause. And we know the root cause often stems from our past experiences, and also internal criticism that we have with ourselves. Sometimes we have an internal criticism towards ourselves. We are the biggest critic, as they always say. We are the biggest critic, and a lot of time rejection and past trauma, all these things, early failures that we may have in our life, is the cause of this self-doubt. Because if somebody's saying you ain't nobody, and you start believing it.
You find that most people, they would take that like literally and say, if somebody, especially when it's like somebody that you look up to, your parent, that's why we say be very careful what you say to your kids, even at your maddest point. Your spouse, the teachers towards their educators, all those people of authority or that you look up to, what they take out of their mouth matters. Because you take that and you run with it and mom said I can never amount to anything. So that's a fact, and you run with it, which is actually usually in most cases, almost all cases, not true.
Yes, or even like myself, where because I was short, especially as we got older, people started passing me. So a lot of times, self-doubt, people feel like, you're not good enough or this and that. So all these things play a role into that self-doubt that I'm not good enough. And so we got to learn how to deal with that. And I wanted to go back to the speaking part as well, because we got to realize the Bible said it best: death and life is in the power of the tongue. And those that love it will eat the fruit thereof. So if we are speaking doubt into our life, then guess what? We're going to see that death. if anybody else is speaking doubt into our life or speaking death, then that's what we're gonna eat that fruit.
It's gonna manifest.
And so it's important that we watch what we're saying to ourselves as well as to others. So yeah.
Very true. So another, I think, follow-up question would be: have you ever felt like your biggest critic? Because I still am.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that I want to take out of this episode is how I can navigate myself out of that, being my biggest critic. I bash myself so much that I don't even give room for other people to bash me. If they bash me, I've already done it for them.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
And I think I speak for most people that this is what happens. You know,
Yes.
that you bash yourself before other people bash you. So how do you believe in yourself then when you're your biggest critic? Because you've already like thinking, you're too much in your head. Like, I can't do this, or this is too, you feel unworthy. You feel, I don't know.
Another example, even like with a failed business, you try so many different businesses and try so many different opportunities, and it failed nothing. Yes, and so you had this, you criticize, I messed up again, and other people look at it, she at it again, and so they don't give you the benefit of the doubt, whatever. Sometimes
she's gonna fail again.
She's gonna fail again, or he gonna fail again. So it's very important that we begin to recognize the source of the self-doubt. Oh yeah. You could be your biggest critic, but recognize that source of that self-doubt and where it came from, where it stems from. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think once you recognize it, it's easy now to navigate your way out of it. It's easy now to pick up your strengths and your weaknesses. So let's talk about self-doubt, into how we can turn self-doubt into our greatest ally, because we can, like we said in the beginning, we can make our weakness become our strength. And that's the I think the whole point of this episode, because I know majority of the people who are watching, if not all, there is a point somewhere in one area in your life where you're doubting yourself. You think you cannot do it. You think it's not for people like you. Not, it's for certain type of people or whatever. So today, hopefully after this episode, you'll come out understanding that whatever that you see yourself to be, you can be. You can turn your doubts into triumph.
Another thing, as we recognize these discoveries of the source of our self-doubt, because I know I was the biggest critic for a very, very long time, even with my speaking or public speaking.
You mean you are your biggest?
My biggest critic, because of how I speak, how I express myself, and that hindered me, and that struggle that I had affected my confidence level. And so, because of my stuttering, because I felt like I had the limited vocabulary, or I didn't know how to express myself as well, it affected my confidence to the point that I didn't like to speak. And I always said this,
in the meantime, you're a pastor. And
yes, in the meantime, I'm a pastor. But even when being a pastor, I still was always nervous, if I'm going to say the right thing, if I'm going to be able to express myself, because it's can I get the words out clear? But I realized, even as a pastor, that's why I like again, we say about the clicker and my notes in front of me. Yes, I don't have, I don't write out my notes, but I do have points, because I'm the type of person, if I have a whole bunch of notes, then I'm going to read it. So
and he wants to read word for word.
Yes, I want to read word for word.
And does not read the audience.
Yes. So
and the audience will be dozing off. He'll still continue to read.
Yes. So my when I'm preaching, I have the scripture down, and I have my points, my bullets, my revelation that I received that I'm gonna talk about, and then I just talk about that point, whatever comes to me at that time that the Lord has given unto me. So yeah, but that public speaking and be able to express myself was my biggest my biggest barrier that I had to overcome, and that's why I'm very grateful for stepping out there, even with the podcast, because it allowed me to grow into speaking, and allow me to learn and to tweak how I do things. So every week, I'm always, looking at myself and seeing where can I improve at, because I understand the source. Okay, you know what? This is who I am. I understand this is me, and so I don't want self-doubt to creep in. So I understand the source. Okay, I know I had a stuttering problem. I know this. And so by me recognizing and then looking at myself, even with the podcast episodes, I'm able to see where I can where can I improve at and get better. Again, 1%. Even if I just get 1% better in every episode, then I'm able to continue to build that confidence. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just think about. So there's a show right now on Netflix.
Okay. She loves Netflix, by the way.
I'm a sucker for Netflix.
She loves Netflix. Always in Netflix. Always.
I have to make that premium worthwhile. Okay, I pay it monthly. So it's called The Ultimatum, South Africa.
Okay.
Oh boy. So there's a villain.
I think we might have to do a
reaction. Well, it's popping right now, so it's better now or never. And there's a lady there, Kanya. If you know Kanya, you know Kanya. She's the villain of the show. Mm-hmm. And this lady is so vile in even the words that she spews out of her mouth. There's a lot of reactions that are coming through social media. Mm-hmm. One reaction was a lady on TikTok who's saying, as she was watching the show, she was triggered by this lady's voice. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere with this. She was triggered by this lady's voice, and she's like, I've heard this voice somewhere. It cannot just be a coincidence that whenever I hear this voice, something inside of me happens. Mm-hmm. So she continues to watch. As she watches, she's like, even this name, I know this name. Then something happened as she was bullying this other lady who happens to be Sizagele on the show. Mm-hmm. And I'm Sizagele. Who is big bone, heavy lady like myself. But very beautiful. Like all Sizageles are beautiful.
All Sizagele, yes, you are beautiful, yes.
So, and this Sizagele is soft-spoken. She giggles about everything. Mm-hmm. You can tell that she's not confident in her skin. Mm-hmm. She's still very, because even when she's nervous about stuff, she giggles. Even when she's supposed to stand up for herself, she'll giggle. Like, about everything. And this Kanya lady, who happens to be the bully, has picked this up and uses it against her. My point in me sharing the story is, so this lady on TikTok says, then it came back to me that this lady is the same lady who bullied me in primary school, elementary school. This is over 20 years ago, but she says that memory is so embedded in her that her voice triggered her. So my thing is, how has criticism or bullying from other people has affected us in our life, in the various areas of our lives? Because she says this lady bullied her in primary, and this lady, they're in their 30s, she's still a bully even on national TV. And she couldn't believe that she's grown up to be even a worse bully than she was in primary. Mm-hmm. And how her bullying affected, so the lady on TikTok is saying, this lady's bullying affected me so much that even right now in my adulthood, I still have so much self-doubt. Can you imagine? It happened when they were in primary. This is grade, God knows whatever.
One of her peers.
Grade 4. They were not even really peers. They were in the same class or something.
Same class, yeah.
But I guess she just saw that she was a weak link. Because that's what bullies do. They look for the person who cannot stand up for themselves. But how her voice triggered that thing that happened so many years ago. You understand?
Yes.
So we might take self-doubt lightly and think, where does this come from? It could have been something as simple as that. Well, not simple, but something as far back as that. Because she's saying even till today, she still kind of doubts herself.
Her capabilities. It affect her capabilities.
Not necessarily, but just she second guesses herself.
Or how she see herself.
Exactly.
View herself, yeah.
And she second guesses herself every time because she's like, oh, even though she couldn't even remember the name, but she knew that there's somebody who fed this to her. You know, and when you're in primary, those are your developmental years. And everything that is said to you, believe.
You believe, yeah.
You know? So I'm going to a point where, but how, have you ever considered how early criticism, this is where I was going, from our mentors, from our peers, from our
teachers,
from
parents,
our parents,
pastors,
may have impacted, right? Sunday school teachers. A lot happens there. How it has impacted our confidence today and influencing how we view ourselves and what we are capable of. You know, I look back and I think of people who look down on me, said things to me, because I've always been the fat girl in class, or short girl in class, you know. And at some point I became the only girl wearing glasses in class. You know, it was always something standing out, you know, against me. And that really impacted me.
Yeah.
You know, I remember I joined a soccer team. I didn't have contact lenses, and you cannot wear glasses while playing soccer. But I joined it to prove soccer.
You mean football?
Soccer. Football, yeah. For Americans, it's soccer.
Yes, American soccer.
I joined that team just to prove a point. But guess what? I didn't see where the ball was going.
Yeah, that was my problem too. Because I had so much self-doubt. I'm always doing something extra just to try to prove a point. And this is what happens sometimes, because somebody says, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. So you're like, I'm going to show you that I can do it. So I'm always proving a point.
And then you end up making yourself even look like worse than you.
Exactly, because you're trying to prove like, I'm going to show I can do it, you know. So yeah. Even when you can't do it.
Sometimes I excelled.
Yeah, me too.
And like I think one of the things where I tried to prove myself was, you know, remember the jumping down the river.
Yes.
They were like, oh, you can't swim, you won't. I was like, I'm gonna, and I nearly killed myself because I wanted to prove a point. And I think this is just we're speaking for majority of the people that we do things not because, but just to prove a point. What a wrong way to look at life and to navigate
wrong way,
life,
yes.
You know?
Because you can hurt yourself, you know, trying to prove a point because the self-doubt that you have. You can hurt yourself. You can hurt yourself and others, you know.
And others. Yeah. So I think I don't know who created the DISC assessment, but it's one of the greatest tools. And by the way, we do offer an assessment if you want it. Go to our description box and you can find a link and we can tell you more about it. I mean, we've been talking about this DISC assessment, but it's one of the best tools that you can actually use to actually find out your strengths and your weaknesses.
The turning point, yeah.
Your strengths and your weaknesses. And it gives you a glimpse on how to actually see yourself, you know, so that you don't doubt yourself. If somebody says, oh, Cesar, you're one of the greatest public speaking people that I've come across, you believe that and you run with it. And not say, oh, I'm trying. No, you're not trying, girl. You effing know your thing, you know?
PG-13, right?
PG-12. So I mean, I really want to encourage people to tap into this DISC assessment. Take this assessment because it's a beautiful shortcut to self-awareness.
It is definitely a beautiful shortcut to self-awareness. And so by you be able to understand your ability, understanding yourself, you know, you're able to unlock this untapped potential that you have inside of you, because we all have gifts inside us. And so, you know, and we all are unique and wonderfully made. We all have different abilities.
So the Bible says.
Yes, we all have different abilities. But in order to tap into those abilities, we have to get to know ourselves a lot better so that our gift can make room for us. We can profit with our gift, but we have to learn what is our gift. You know, we have to learn what is my superpower that stands out, that is unique to me, that is not unique to others. Things that I can do that others can't do.
At the end of the day, every individual is like their fingerprint.
Yes.
You're unique like that. You're not a replica of nobody. Yes, we have some people who try to replicate other people, but they'll never be them. You know, so take the DISC assessment, try and find out how you can discover who you really are through your strengths, your weaknesses, what you should avoid, what you should push for, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I say this too as well. By understanding yourself, you're able to surround yourself with your weaknesses, and this is something that I
surround yourself with your weaknesses.
Yeah.
How?
You don't surround yourself with your strengths.
Really?
Yeah, you're strong.
Okay.
You don't need other strengths, other people that do the same thing you could do.
Oh.
Yes, you surrounding yourself with your weakness, and this is something I used to hear John Maxwell say, because you're like, I don't know it, I don't know how to do everything, so I surround myself with those things that I don't know how to do. And this is how when you understand your
things and people.
Yes, you surround yourself with people that are your weakness. So your weakness
that will balance out your
your weakness. Yes, because you're surrounding your weakness with your strength, and so now because of that, it is able to be one, and it is able to enhance your ability because you're able to feed off on one another. If you're hanging around everyone that could do the same thing,
there's no growth.
There's no growth in that. Because why? We're all gonna do the same thing.
Right.
But if I connect with people that can do something different than I can do, then guess what? We can feed off with each other. And it goes with, like, even with me and my wife. Me and my wife is a good example, because I'm good in planning. I'm good in constructing the podcast. Even like for the podcast, I'm good at all the structuring and putting my thoughts on paper, when my wife is a better storyteller. So we balance each other off. This is why I don't have the cars anymore. Because why? Because again, I can't look at the cars, and because if I look at it, I want to read from it. So, but my wife is good with that. She can, she can put her own twist to it. She can know where it comes from. Oh man, yeah. So go ahead. Go ahead.
I think that balance is very critical, in anything in life. So that, like you said, you have to know your strength and your weaknesses. And when you know the two, you are able to not overlook yourself. So another thing I'm just thinking about is, how can you now take your weakness to complement you even in a workplace, right? Have you considered that?
Or even your business.
Exactly. Well, that's workplace. So have you considered complementing your weaknesses with your team strengths? Like you were saying earlier, surround yourself with people who will balance out your weaknesses. So if you're in a team setting, for example, have people around you who have strengths that you have weaknesses in. So that helps you, because remember, we're talking about self-doubt. So you don't doubt yourself as much, because now you don't have to act like the lead there, because you know that's your weakness.
Yes.
But instead, learn from the strength that they have. That is your weakness.
Yes, yeah, and so that you're able to focus on your strengths, because now you don't doubt your strengths. When you know the area that you get in, you don't doubt that. You know you're good, but what your weakness is, what you're doubting, and so and you're trying to overcompensate your weakness for your strengths, and so when you leveraging other people's strengths that you are weak in, you don't have to overcompensate yourself anymore, and you don't have to doubt yourself anymore in business, because you surrounding yourself with those strengths where you're ready to get the job done. Yeah.
I think also a good example would be like what the Chaplin Chilies have been seeing in your growth, verbal growth, navigating, like you said, before you used to use cards to, so that you have like a structure for the podcast. Now you no longer do.
Free flow. I try to be more free flow. Yeah.
Free flow through me. Because
Yes.
I'll be like, okay, because I have pointers as well. And that has actually helped, and it's balanced out the thing, because people want interaction. They don't want you to be reading. Like, we can read ourselves, So I think whenever you're going to partnership with anybody, put that in mind, where you're going to say, who can I partner with, who can bring in the strengths that I don't have. That will make a very powerful
Yes,
thing.
and that's why the DISC assessment helps them, because it allows you to navigate what partnerships to join with, who and who to hire, so that because the reason why sometimes teams don't do well, because everyone on that team has the same similar skill sets, and because if everyone on the team is analytical, who gonna be the spokesperson? Who the one that's going to take action? Because you got some people that take action direct and firm. If everyone analytical, they're not going to really take the action. They got to take the bull by the horn. You need somebody that's going to, like, you know what, let's get this thing done. Your analytical people is not going to take, like, okay, they're going to wait till everything is sorted before they make a move.
How analytical people just, they rub me off the wrong side, because I'm very proactive. And,
yes.
I can't stand somebody who's like, let me read through this. And, I'm like spontaneous like that. And, but we need to balance off each other.
Yes.
And I think that's how we do it as well as a team, even in our marriage, where I'm just, let's go boom, boom, boom. You're like, I need to sit down, and I'm like, oh, Jesus, when is this going to end, But even with the podcast, and in our various businesses, or in our various projects, we balance each other off like that. I'm very decisive. My husband is not so decisive. I'm very hands-on. My husband is not so hands-on. I'm, there's a lot. It's right now, it feels like I'm pointing out your weaknesses more.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of his strengths.
Preparedness.
I'm very prepared. You are not.
But no. Like, with the written preparation, I'm more in analytical. So
that's what I was saying. Analytic people frustrate me. I don't know how I married an analytic person, because it frustrates me like so much. I cannot stand somebody who has to go through a simple thing 50,000 times. Like, let's just get it done.
But here's I'm also I'm a visionary. I'm a visionary who see things, who see the bigger picture. So that's one of my strengths, that I see the bigger picture, and that I made a plan for it. Cause even like with the podcast episodes, especially the Friday episodes, I write down her notes. That way my wife to know what I'm thinking in my head, because I understand her strength is she could take my notes. She could take my notes without reading it in her own words. So you don't even know. My wife is so good in stop telling a story and improvising, that she don't even, you can't even really tell that. You can see a little bit, but you can't really tell that she's reading. Me, on the other hand,
I'm not reading. I'm looking at points. Like, okay,
yeah, you're looking at points,
so that we're not all over the place. Yes. I hate podcasts that are all over the place.
Yes,
so I like
you like structure. Yeah, like some structure. Some structure, yes. But me, because I'm so analytical.
Without structure,
yeah, I'm all over the place.
No, you don't exist.
And plus, with me as well, now, because it's hard for me to express myself, that's my weakness. It's hard for me to express myself, because what's in my head is hard to express it out when I'm speaking. Now, when I take the time out and write it, I can write it very well, because not just me. So I can write my notes and my thoughts on paper very well. But me trying to speak it while I'm on a podcast, and I can't really do that while I'm on a podcast, because I want to be myself. I don't want to be seen like I'm
reading.
I'm reading. But so I write it down as bullet points, so that my wife know what I'm thinking in my head, so that she can express it because she can express it better than I
So
can.
I'm a superwoman.
Yeah, she's a superwoman. She can express it better. So that's the strength that I have. I'm very analytical and detail oriented, where I can write out my notes and write out my thoughts. And I see where we need to be, where we want to be. Because I am that's what God blessed me with, is vision, wisdom, and revelation. I'm great with revelation. I can see things, and then also judgment. I mean, not judgment. Yeah, good judgment. I have not. What's the thing? Sense of direction. There you go, sense of direction. I have good sense of direction.
Oh, I nearly said good judgment. Am I supposed to lie through the screen? Sense of direction. Yes,
right. Sense of direction. So I'm very good with revelation, wisdom, sense of direction, vision. God blessed me with that gift and being able to put it down on paper. But I'm not great in expressing myself, and so it's hard sometimes for me to express myself verbally. So even sometimes in our marriage, it even when we talking, I know what I want to say, but it's hard for me, and she get frustrated because when I can't really express myself like I want to, it frustrates her. And so that balance though of me being able to write it down and be able to express. And so this is what I do with the podcast, because now the goal is that I'm able to put my thoughts on paper, and now she know what I'm thinking. And so after a while, she able to pick up where I'm coming from and what I'm doing. Yeah, because she learning the things that I'm doing. And this is how I express myself a lot better.
Being married.
Yes, that could be married. But yeah, this is about, surrounding yourself with your weakness. It doesn't matter what kind of business you in, when you're networking with people, when you're joining masterminds and book clubs and all these different things, you want to see, okay, who compliments me well. What, when you going on a job, when you looking for a job, what job I can fit in that complement the team and that organization. So yeah, and so when you hire somebody, who can I hire that complement this team so that the team can have success? And that's what it's about, complementing your strength with your weakness.
So let's look at some practical steps that will help us to leverage self-doubt, okay? Because self-doubt can be a secret weapon. Mm-hmm. Like we said in the beginning, that can be your superpower. That can be what can push you to become your best self.
Yeah.
So don't ever think, oh my God, I'm always in my head. Mm-mm. How can I get over this? You can.
You can. I know I did.
Right, and you still.
I'm still in the process. Yes,
and it's just, I think it's a matter of just identifying it, mm-hmm. And saying, okay, this is my problem. Mm-hmm. How do I move beyond this? Mm-hmm. I think my biggest self-doubt right now is not believing that I can. Mm-hmm. Not believing that I can do what I can do.
And what is this can't? Not believing in what area?
Right now, I would say in all areas of my life.
In all areas of your life.
I'm at a stage in my life where I feel like I'm in a rut, if there's such a term. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm surrounded by darkness. Mm. And every side I look, there's a blockage and there's darkness. Mm-hmm. I don't have the abilities to look up. That's self-doubt, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like I don't have the abilities to pull myself out. And if a psychologist would listen to what I'm saying right now, they'll say, oh, she's depressed. Mm-hmm. Because going back to mental health and having declared that I was diagnosed with depression, people who know and understand depression is a disease. It's a chronic disease that you can never say I'm completely cured of. So when life happens, it always comes back to your mind telling you that reminding you of your self-doubt, reminding you of your weaknesses, reminding you of your failures, reminding you So I'm there right now. And I think maybe that's why I'm saying this episode and this topic came at the right point where I guess I need to self-reflect and be able to pull myself out of that, because I've been in this ride for quite some time.
Yeah,
and each time I try to pull myself up and see the light, something happens and it pulls me straight back down again, and 10 feet below than where I was.
Yes.
So ever so often I'm trying to pull myself up, see a bit of light,
and get knocked back down.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so and practice stuff. One thing with my wife, something I noticed, right? And this is why I'm always encourage my wife. Time there's an event, because I know, that's a happy place. When she to surround herself with her South African family, her people, I'm gonna say family, even though they friends, but with her South African people. I think
because I miss home so much as well.
So when I know,
and
when
only foreigners can understand this.
So when she surround herself, that's like her happy place where she forget about the thing that what she in right now. So this is why I encourage that when anything, let's go. Is any event going on? Let's get going. So because I want a happy wife. I want a wife that had this energetic spirit.
And you look at this wife and you're like, who's this woman? Look at how happy she is. Why can't she be this happy in our home?
You're happy.
I'm happy?
Yeah. But no, but sometimes the doubt do get to you, and I notice that you don't know how to reflect like I do, process it better. Because again, I'm more of a processor.
I beat myself up when it comes to processing my failures.
Yeah, and me, I'm better with processing because
I think my biggest challenge, and I think I would resonate with a lot of people, is that I know that I'm capable of way more of what I have accomplished and what I'm doing right now. And so I think that's where the beating up of myself comes from, where I feel like, this is not you. You're capable of way more than what you've accomplished and what you're doing.
Yes.
So I feel like I've let myself down so much.
Yeah, and so, but being aware of that, again, we're talking about your superpower. You want to tap into that, your superpower. What makes you happy? What do you want to go back to the happy place so that you don't doubt yourself, because you're good in speaking, you're good in expressing yourself. So you like hanging around people that you love hanging around, getting around and conversating. And this is why even going out to these different events or some things that you love, tap into that, because that's your superpower. You like expressing yourself, you like talking, you like hanging around people. And so that while you build your business, while you build the things, because even when you're looking for the job that you want to get in, while you build it and looking for it, because you gotta remember sometimes it's not easy when you're applying for jobs and you're not getting it, and
rejection is the hardest thing.
Yes, and it frustrates you.
And it starts making you doubt yourself and your capabilities.
Exactly, but don't doubt yourself, because you have the ability to do the job, but you just wait for the opportunity. So what you got to do is it
feels like God forgets some of us. Like God focuses on certain people. Like, Lord, hello, I'm here. Hello. Have you forgotten about? Listen, can I just put out a plea out there? If anybody knows God's 911, please just send it to me. Like, I really need his private number right now. Like, it's an emergency.
Yes.
Please send God's private number my way. DM me. I am ready to just dial him up and say, hey, Lord, you created me. So how are you forgetting about me?
Yes. But, again, it's about learning how to face those challenging situations head on. Head on. Can gradually turn your uncertainties to certainties, to power. So just dealing with it head on, because, you have a weakness right now. Right now you feel doubt. But like,
lots of it.
I'm not going to allow this defeat me. And so and this is what I started praying, because me, I was trying to lose it. So my prayer now, like, Lord, help me to manage to be a good steward of myself and of who I am. And so now, and putting me in the right direction, and just dealing with these situations. This is why I made a continue to stick to what I'm doing now, because I'm more focused, because I understand who I am as an individual. And this is something that you got to start doing, is just knowing who you are as an individual, and then just tackle it head on and stop trying and stop
it's
chasing.
hard to. It's not even chasing, because of course
Okay.
we have to chase in life until we reach self-actualization. It's a chase,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but it's not even about that. It's about when you are in a particular space in your mind, because we're talking mental health,
Yes.
right? There are certain things that's hard to break down,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it just takes a lot out of a person to be able to go past those blockages.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you can, but it takes a lot.
It takes a lot.
And people just have to understand, people who are suffering with mental health, that what comes easy for one person, a person
It's-
going through mental health, it takes a
Whole lot of, and this is why again, when you surround yourself with your weaknesses, because you know you struggle with mental health or whatever, so now you want to surround yourself with those people that's a little stronger than you.
But doesn't it feel like a little competition though? Like it
No.
makes you even doubt yourself, like, oh my God, wow, something, because people who have a strength in certain things, they make it look so effortless.
It's okay.
And meanwhile, you're struggling to do that simple thing.
That's ego, and that's why you
It's
probably
not ego.
they want. I don't know, but
Otherwise it wouldn't be called a weakness. How is it ego?
but no. And when you surround when you're strength, they try to brag or whatever you try.
They're not bragging.
Say.
I'm just saying then it doesn't
They
it put in
stroking.
more. No, they just being themselves.
They just being
'Cause
themselves.
It's their strength. It comes
Oh,
easy
then
to
that's
them.
your
Because you're saying,
that's
I'm
your.
going to a point where you're saying,
Yeah.
surround yourself with these people who have your strength, which is their is their strength, which is your weakness. My thing is, but doesn't that even make you feel unworthy to be in that room even more? Because you're seeing these people who are doing this thing that is a
Yes.
weakness to you effortlessly.
Yes.
Meanwhile, you're struggling just to do, 5% of that thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't it make you feel more worse off than you started?
No, because you know what you bring to the table.
I am the teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
You know so you don't have to compare yourself with them, because they bring their gift and their uniqueness to the table. You bring in your gift, and this is how y'all able to become one, because their strength is your weakness. Your weakness, their weakness is your strength. So you know so you don't have to compare yourself and look at other people and say, oh man, they're good in that. No, that's their strength. Don't focus on, because that's where you weaken. You know you're weak in that area, but you strong in you stronger in the area that you're strong in. That's stronger than theirs. In that area that you're strong in, you're a lot better in that area than they are. So that's why what you bring to because they probably saying the same thing. Man, she's strong in this area, but because they looking at that where they weakness. But they're neglecting that I got some strengths in me.
I think you having said that, then it's important to get like good feedback.
Yes.
When you surround yourself with such people, even like whether in a workplace, in a business, in a partnership, in marriage, whatever, like get someone who can always be like your bouncing point and say, hey, but it has to be constructive criticism.
Yes, constructive.
And then of course the person who's receiving it is able to receive and realize this person is not trying to pull me down or trying to talk down on me, but they're actually helping me.
Yes.
To pinpoint where I can improve and be better.
Yeah, so having these open structure feedback systems, it does help yourself as well as your team, and embrace it. Embrace this constructive feedback. And how can we embrace it? By hosting workshops, by hosting retreats, organizing these things. So,
but how do you host a retreat and a workshop when you're dealing with your personal issues?
You as a business owner.
Or you're talking in terms of business owner?
Yeah, you as a business owner, how can you help out your team, your partners? A lot of times just by hosting workshops or retreats, that will enhance personal development. That will improve personal development so that, you
But
just...
then how does business continue when you're busy hosting workshops?
No, you take the time out, business can continue, but you got days off. You have retreats for the organization, doing that.
If it's part of your company's culture.
Yes, part of that company culture, but you host these workshops and these retreats so that it helps that personal development, so that you ain't everyone to share their thoughts.
You've got team building.
What happened?
Yeah, most companies have team building.
Team what?
Team building.
Team building. Yeah, these things like that. But you can have,
My point is you can't be nursing people's weaknesses.
No, but it's just for the constructive feedback. You're not nursing their weakness. It's so that you're allowing people to express themselves and to hear their feedback, and then you hearing their feedback from them on how to make the company better, how to make an organization better. So that's why you're hosting these retreats and these workshops, so that you're able to hear their feedback and they to hear their feedback from you, and you can hear their feedback as well. And it's about improving the organization, but as well as improving the individual during these retreats, because it's like, again, going back to the happy place that allow people to begin to express themselves and feel welcome, feel open to talk or whatever. So when a person is calm, you want to share more. You want to share more.
When a person is calm.
Yeah, when a person you calm and is not thinking about their self-doubt, but they feel welcoming. It's a welcoming place, a welcoming event. A person is more accepted to expressing themselves. I know myself, as an introvert, extrovert, I'm always looking for places. I don't say much until I know it's comfortable for me to start speaking. And then I always say, once I feel comfortable to express myself, then I'm not gonna be judged. Then you got to shut me up, because now I'm more relaxed. I'm more comfortable to begin to talk, because I feel like that's a safe place to begin to express myself.
So as we sum this thing up, how can we then turn, going back to our intro, how can we turn self-doubt into a superpower?
Well, continuous personal development and self-awareness. We have to focus on continuous personal development and self-awareness. And this is why I encourage don't just take the DISC assessment once, but regularly begin to take the DISC assessment, maybe every year.
Why? Because it changes?
Yeah, it could change. Yeah, who you are today could change the next year. Because once you aware of yourself, a lot of times now you improving in those areas. And so the next year you could be different, because now you're aware of it. Now you're not. Maybe if you're a high C, you might not be a high C next year, because you put some things into practice. Now you're more of a D or I or S or whatever. So your disc could change. So that's why you regularly, but by being aware, because even like preferences, a lot of times, even in marriage, they always say, that's why you got to continue studying your wife or continue studying your husband, because, the person you married 5 years ago is not the same person 5 years later.
5 days ago.
Yeah, your preference changed. And so you still looking at the individual when you first met, and that's how problems come about, because you still looking at the same individual how they was when you first met them, and they're a totally different individual. And then one day you realize, hold on, you don't do that anymore, or you don't like that anymore. Like,
especially if you have an inattentive spouse.
Yes, especially So things change, and so it's very important to be aware of these situations. And this is something I even have to practice as well on every day, because things can change, and just by being aware of myself and being aware of my partner and being aware of the different environment, I'm able to improve in those areas. Yeah.
So feedback is important.
Feedback is important. Feedback is very important, and even if by being aware, you won't be so down on yourself when you receive constructive criticism. because feedback is important. And this is how you're gonna grow. So you won't take it so hard and beat yourself up when you get like that. You feel like, oh, they're coming down. No, they're not coming down. It's just constructive criticism so that it can help you grow. You might not like it at the time. You who like constructive feedback. You might not, but you get to suck it in and take it in. So you know what
and this. But I always say when people give you constructive criticism or criticism in any way, it has to be out of love. The tone and the I'm trying to find this English word and it's running away from me.
Say that in Zulu.
Injongo. Injongo.
Okay.
Injongo. I'm trying to think of what injongo in English.
You can't no direct translation.
Anywho, so your tone is very important, and,
Yes.
and where it stems from, it's very important. Like if you're gonna say it just so that you hurt me or you show me how bad I am in a certain thing, then that's the word, motive. Ooh, English will make you sweat. So I'm telling you, the data's run out while you are using your American accent English. Hey! So yeah, so the motive is very important, and how and the delivery, motive and delivery, because you can have the greatest constructive criticism, but if the motive behind it and the delivery is bad, then it will not be well received. End of story.
Yes, so another thing.
Because I'll think you're attacking me.
Yes, I agree, and this is why you gotta continue to also engage your these mindfulness practices so that you're able to control and deal with these emotional responses.
Meditate.
Prayer. Prayer, but these mindfulness practices, these retreats, these spa days or whatever, so that you're able to continue to.
I'm due for one.
Yes, my wife is due for one. But you want to be able to practice and to understand your emotion.
It doesn't necessarily have to be like mindless. Mindfulness activities, like you said. It just could be just something that just makes
simple.
you happy.
Yes, your happy place. Yes,
it could be you in a car just playing.
But that's also mindfulness practices.
Exactly, but it makes you happy.
Yeah. We say spa, but it could be anything that makes you happy.
Like taking a nap.
Yeah, like taking a nap. Something simple.
Makes me happy.
Something simple.
A nap that will not be interrupted by a fidgety husband.
A fidgety husband?
Oh my God. Okay, let's round off. So creating a culture of growth and acceptance. How do you do that? Like, is it a culture of growth and acceptance with for yourself or among your peers or among your business associates?
All of it.
All of
it. Yes. By you understanding yourself, by you adapting these different strategies and having these mindful, being conscious and having and mindfulness practices and continue these growth and awareness and personal development, it allows you to, to embrace that growth and acceptance and building that culture with your business partners, with your marriage, your spouse, your life partner, the one you do business with, or whoever it may be, your co-workers. It allows you to have you will come to work excited.
I look forward to that.
Yeah, you come to work, because it allows you to be vulnerable and be comfortable in your own skin and being vulnerable. Because that vulnerability, a lot of times, the reason why we're not vulnerable because we're not comfortable, or we have the self that is they're gonna talk about me, if they're gonna judge me, and so it keeps us from being vulnerable. And so this is why you have to know yourself to. I said this one time. To know yourself is to grow yourself. So in order for you to grow, you gotta begin to know yourself even more and to be yourself.
You can be yourself.
Yeah, so you can be yourself. Yeah, hey, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to encourage, our audience and whoever that's listening, that just take care of yourself. Take care of your mind. Don't doubt yourself so much so that you allow other people's 2 cents to matter.
Yes. Yes.
Because at the end of the day, they will move on with life and you'll be left stuck by yourself, right? And would like to call it a wrap.
Yeah. But I do want to say this though too, because
Always want to say something when I'm calling it a wrap.
I'm just saying though.
He
But
always takes my shine right.
Hey, I'm just saying this though. But your business is dependent on you being aware of yourself. Your partner is dependent on you being aware of yourself. So, if you're dealing with self-doubt, and this is why we encourage to take the DISC assessment, because for your business that you're trying to build, that you want, that idea that you want to put out there, that you're afraid of yourself, you doubting yourself, is I'm gonna get the support. Is who gonna be there? Who gonna support me? If they're gonna that idea that you have is dependent on you to have the confidence to step out there, and just go for it. So yeah,
I just want to say, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Okay.
And that just remember that self-doubt shouldn't be a barrier, because we make it stop us from our tracks or moving forward to becoming who we're supposed to be. But it actually makes self-doubt to be a beacon guiding you towards your greater self-awareness and success. Don't make it be your barrier, but make it push you. Make it be the fuel.
By fire, by force.
And I'm talking from experience, and I'm talking to myself. That whatever that I'm doubting myself with right now, I'm going to use that as fuel to push me to the next level.
Yes.
Because
you deserve it.
I can, and you can. So if this episode resonates with you, would really love for you to press that subscribe button. Share. Tell us your opinion. Tell us what you think. Comment. We love hearing from you. And we enjoy reading your comments. So if you're ready to level up your idea in business, hit us up. We really want to be partners with you in our 6 months mentorship boot camp. I know we've been preaching about it. We will not stop until you jump on. Yes, we're waiting for you. You got that idea in your mind. You don't know how to get it in motion. Coach LJ is here for that. He's here for you. Go into our description box. Check the link for our 6-month mentorship program or boot camp. And we got ya. When I say we got you, we got you. It can be an idea that you already have or an idea that's in your mind, and we'll help bring that idea into reality.
We want to encourage you to stay inspired, keep thriving, keep chilling, and let's transform our dreams into reality with us on Chilling with the Chaplins, the 6-month mentorship boot camp in the community. We here to help you grow, to help you to challenge your doubts, because we talking from experience that we dealt with in our life. Still is dealing with, and so and overcoming. And we want to help you to overcome. And this is what the purpose of the episode. This is the purpose, because we all have gifts and we are unique, but we are getting our way with our self-doubt. We're not taking action. We're not launching out in the deep because we are afraid that nobody's not going to be there for us. So they're not going to. So this was me until the Lord said, look for you. There's over 8 billion people in the world. If you're still afraid of yourself and you're still doubting yourself, who's going to support you? Who's there for me? You still worrying about the 200 people that don't even care about you. But what about the rest of the 8 billion people that don't even know you? But in order to find you gotta jump out. You gotta let go of the self-doubt and say, you know what, I'm going for it. and get the principle, the foundation. This is why the 6 month minutes. You got an idea. This is what it's about. Getting the 6 month minutes so I can help you how to structure everything and research to begin to look for you. Because a lot of times we don't start a business because we don't know what to do. And so this is what it gives you that blueprint on how to do things the right way. And so until next time, thank you. And if you enjoyed this episode, we say check out the next episode we have for you. And you know how we sign off. How we always sign off. Deuces. Peace. See you on the flip side.